Fantastic Four stumbles, a new Spidey suit, the Social Network 2 casting news, and so much more on this episode of Beyond the Screen. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Screen. As always, I'm your host, Ryan, and with me is Jake Holtzclaw. Jake, what you up to? How are you?
I'm tired. You know what I did this weekend, but everybody else at home might not. So what I did this weekend was I was on a short film as sound and boom pole operator. Ryan, what did you do this weekend?
I was on a film set this weekend as well, and I was, not the same film set or anything, but I was the camera operator.
Oh, interesting. Emily, what'd you do this weekend?
Thank you for asking. I was also on the short film set, running
the short film set. What?
We were all three on different short film sets.
I was on the same short film set doing socials and gathering content for that, so I can slowly edit them and distribute them after filming, which means now. So
yeah. And Emily, I want you to stay right there, because now that we know what we've all been doing this week, and we'll fill you guys in on just like how we feel today, because today's been fun after that, it is time for your weekly edition of What Are We Drinking? This week, I am drinking V8 Energy, not sponsored, specifically strawberry banana. Delicious. Emily, what are you drinking?
Jake, go first.
Jake, what are you drinking?
Hug.
What are we drinking?
I'm drinking hazelnut cookie black loose leaf tea, and it's absolutely delicious. And I'm also going to eat with this a cinnamon almond butter biscuit snack, unbranded. That's what I'm having.
The things we
might be on the screen snacks.
The things we do to be prepared for our show. So we all were on the same film set. We're making the joke that we weren't, but we were doing various different jobs. And our weekend consisted of a 10, a 12, and then another 10-hour work day. So 3 work days of working 10 or more hours. So 32 hours in total, working on a really, really fun concept and a really great script. And so we're excited for what that turns into. But what that means for us is that here for you guys today, we're on them fumes, baby. We're all drinking that energy or whatever we guess. I guess a hug doesn't have caffeine in it, but you did drink the caffeine before this with the Celsius. If you're wondering, I had another energy drink, a nondescript energy drink before this. And now this is my second of the afternoon to get me here. So, yeah.
Crazy, dude.
If you sit and look close enough, you could see my chest palpitating. No, I'm just kidding.
And on that note,
that is
our first segment.
That has been our What Are We Drinking segment. We're going to move on and go ahead and get into our first official segment of our show, which, and Emily, we'll see. She'll be still behind the scenes, but we'll see you again. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for being here for our fun first segment of the day. Our first official segment of our show is always box office news. So we're going to go into it. Finishing first in its second week is Fantastic Four First Steps, then The Bad Guys 2 from DreamWorks, followed by The Naked Gun, then Superman, and Jurassic World Rebirth. So we're going to go back to the top here and go down. So finishing first for the second straight week might seem like an absolute win for almost any film, but not in this case for Marvel's most recent hero flick. Earning $40 million domestically, Fantastic Four First Steps cratered in its second week, dropping an astounding 66% in ticket sales from week to week. And a number that we were seeing on set was Friday, from week to week, this last Friday, it dropped 80%, which is a crazy number. That is like hero flicks, as we talked about before the show, Jake. They usually, like, films drop 50, 60%. That's not like abnormal in ticket sales from week to week, but that's the average film. Films like families, films like hero movies, they usually have a higher staying power because everyone can go see it. They'll go see it twice because it makes them feel good. They'll bring their family, they'll bring their friends. So for Fantastic Four to drop 66% is a troubling sign. going back to their totals before we get into what those numbers mean for the MCU, right now their domestic total has jumped up to 198.4 million, and globally they have earned 368.7 million. So, according to the Daily's newsletter, this puts, going back to first steps, its 66% drop in its first to second week drops it in company with other MCU films. It is joining Quantumania and Captain America Brave New World, and which Quantumania dropped 70% in its second week, and Brave New World dropped 68%, which again is a troubling trend for the MCU. We'll get into why that might be happening here in a second. So, while this is now the highest grossing Fantastic Four film of all times, projections indicate the film will barely break even, if at all. 600 million is the break even mark, and they're looking to, or tracking to, pull in 550 to 6. So, and that includes marketing. That's not necessarily the budget for the film, but you have to hit both marks to be somewhat profitable. And it is not looking like they're going to hit that marker. If they do, they're not going to be in the green. They're just going to be out of the red, which again is still a loss in most big companies' standpoint. So numbers aren't everything. I think that's something that is important. We talked a little bit about that on the show before, is that just because a film does bad in the box office doesn't mean it's a bad film, i.e. Shawshank Redemption, right? Did terribly, considered a flop, one of the best films of all time. So we can look at this film objectively and say that it's good. It has great cinema score. It has great critic score. Audience scores outside of Podtrack. It's doing well. But fans are enjoying this. Why? What do the numbers tell us?
I was wondering, it's like, what happened this weekend where people weren't going? Like, I don't know. Like, what? Everybody didn't go watch it like the first week. Like, that's never happened before, but like it would show in the numbers.
Yeah.
Like we've seen higher box offices in the first week. So it's not that everybody went and saw this movie the first week and then didn't the second. It's just, it's very odd, and I don't know if it's like, did they market too hard and this is all everybody's been talking about and people are tired of it and then they decided not to go, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I really felt like this one was a step in the right direction for this was it phase of the MCU.
6, I think, is what this one kicks
Yeah,
off.
phase 6. So like the big bad, coming up is Doom, Doctor Doom, and I thought that this was like the right step for this phase. Like this was going to be not like Thanos and like Endgame, like, but I thought it was going to be like up there. I thought it was going to be one of the better ones, especially with the lineup we've got coming down the pipe. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And then I can only assume that the third week's going to be like even worse, like in the
Yeah. You
like
you have to
20s.
think, dude, like, it's not superhero films because Superman has done so well.
Right.
So it's like, if it's one thing if it's like, say the Fantastic Four is the biggest superhero film or the biggest film of the summer, and it alone had this happen, then it's like, okay, then you can call into question the industry. What came out less than 2 weeks before this is the film that will go down as the biggest comic book movie of this year, and it's still jumping. So
Yeah, maybe they didn't want to go watch another superhero movie for a while.
I don't know. What's interesting too is when you really think about it, when you look at the numbers, they're going to gross around the same in their
Probably,
lifetime.
yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
considering Superman to be this huge success, and we're considering Fantastic Four to be a flop in air quotes. Isn't that interesting how that works out?
We'll see what it does in 4 weeks. Mark my words here. It's 14 million estimated for Superman at number 4 in its 4th week. We'll see what Fantastic Four is sitting at in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
If it's still 13, which I doubt it. I don't know if it'll be 13.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, this is probably the fallout from 5 years of the MCU just putting out like just slop, like terrible, like Quantumania by itself is like, it is the joke of the entire franchise at this point. Like you have Kevin Feige coming out and saying, yeah, we definitely did. Or was it Bob Iger, whichever one of the big execs in Disney / MCU or Marvel. They were like, yeah, we were definitely doing quantity over quality for a while there. And I just feel like that tanks your, like, fans aren't as loyal. They don't expect much of you anymore, and that's not going to be reciprocated in the box office, even if you put out good stuff. I had seen a person retweet a post, and I don't remember who actually like the original poster was, but they had used Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, and they said these are two of arguably the best MCU films of all time. They're worthy of trilogies each, yet they're in terms of numbers they have flopped if you count it that way. And
Yeah.
why? And the only explanation that I can see and that I can that I also agree with is that trust is gone. The trust in your product is gone. So it can be good, but it's like, okay, if the next one's going to be bad and I'm not going to watch it, why would I invest my time and money into this? You know, it's like if you know there's going to be 3, but you think 2 and 3 are going to be terrible, why would you even get to 1, even if it was good? That's got to be what it is.
Fatigue.
Oh, you're buying into superhero fatigue.
Marvel fatigue.
Oh, a deeper niche.
Uh,
I mean, maybe.
could be superhero. I think it's Marvel.
Yeah.
It's like, the MCU, man. I'm just
Any final thoughts on the Fantastic Four before we move down the rest of our list?
Sorry. This is the On That Note episode.
Yeah. Be on the
No,
screen
I have
on that
nothing
note.
else.
All right. Finishing second is The Bad Guys 2, which is a DreamWorks sequel from the 2022 original. It earned 22.2, gosh, so many twos in this one, million domestically and 44.5 globally. This puts the film right in tune with its, again, original, which fared in its theatrical release, again, fairly well. In 2022, that film was the highest grossing animated feature of the year. It was a big deal that DreamWorks beat out Disney. So here we are, the sequel releases, it's gaining about the same, and you have talks that it's a troubling sign. Industry insiders are like, oh no, the sequel's on par with the first, because they talk about character familiarity, and they talk about like, oh, it was on streaming, so there should have been more hype, so it should have done better. Mind you, the original made 250 million worldwide. If they make another 250 million on a sequel, there's going to be a third. Like, going back to our conversation about like what actually is successful and what's not. But anyway, what made that 250 million work for the original is it had high staying power. We'll see if the sequel can keep that. But I do think they will be okay. Going down the line, finishing third is The Naked Gun, a comedy reboot from Paramount starring Liam Neeson. Finishes again third after earning 17 million and 20, or that's domestically, and 28.5 globally. Critics and fans alike love this film, the film has received, I should say, from fans, an A- cinema score and a 90% on the tomato meter. This marks Liam Neeson's best opening in the box office in a decade. People are loving The Naked Gun. Finishing fourth is James Gunn's Superman. His feel-good comic book movie continues to make a mark in our box office top 5 week in and week out, finishing fourth in 4 weeks in theaters. The film earned 13.9 million domestically, raising its domestic total to 316.2 million and a global tally of 551.2 million, which again is getting on track with this being the highest grossing DC film since a certain film directed by Christopher Nolan in 2008 starring Christian Bale about Batman. And lastly, in our top 5 is Jurassic World Rebirth. Again, Jurassic World Rebirth hangs on to our top 5. And it's at this point, it shouldn't be surprisingly that Universal's legacy sequel is there, starring Scarlett Johansson. But who would have thought that one of the highest grossing films of the year would have been a Jurassic Park legacy sequel all these years after the original? It earned 8.7 million domestically, raising its overall totals to 317.6 in the States and 766 million globally. So it's very much holding steady. Other other films that are out right now that did well or had marks that we should talk about in the box office outside of the top 5 is body horror film Together. That finished 6th, earning 6.8 million and a nice reception from critics and fans alike, having a 91% on the tomato meter. F1, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Smurfs All Slide took a huge tumble down. F1, it's not surprising. It had a long stay in the top 5. But for I Know What You Did Last Summer and Smurfs, they've not been in the box office for that long, and they have tumbled very far in a very short time. So, Jake, before we get to our predictions to end our first segment, I'm very curious. What do you think about our box office for this week?
Fantastic Four, number one. It's still shocking, right? I'm actually more surprised that Neon had Together come out, like you said, in 6th. I would have thought that it would have beat out Jurassic World in its 5th week. I just feel like that was a James Franco movie that I saw a lot in terms of marketing, which these are all estimated totals. because we are a little early. Um, I think Box Office Mojo usually ends at like 10 o'clock or refreshes at 10 o'clock. But um, we've got some weird ones in here. So, Cat Video Fest 2025. I had Ryan read that to me. I don't know where it is, but it's basically a festival with a bunch of cat themed films, raising money for local cats in need. Thought that was cute. It hit top 12, made $500,000.
Isn't that nuts?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, but that's all I have to say about it.
Something I think is really interesting is Eddington in its third week from A24 by Ari Aster, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal, falls completely out of the top 20 or top 10,
Yeah.
finishing just barely above the Cat Video Fest with right at 500K. It didn't even make $1 million.
It wasn't offered as in as many theaters
No.
either.
It's odd that A24. Well, A24's had a history of this where they will release things short, or like they won't have them in as many theaters. But it's again, it's interesting that a film that was billed as highly as this was, marketed like crazy, and
Yeah.
it's been pulled 3 weeks essentially from majority of theaters after its release.
Yeah.
I Know What You Did flamed out, which isn't shocking. It just kind of felt like I don't want to say a cash grab, but yeah, I cannot get over Jurassic World finishing as highly as it has because, and I mind you, this is what I'm saying is like its staying power is unique in a sense because when you look at the numbers overall for throughout the year, Jurassic World Rebirth is the third highest grossing film of this year thus far. Which is a crazy thought.
It's a number.
766 million. In the States, domestically, it's still third with 317 million. Just behind, so that 317 million is less than 100 million behind Lilo and Stitch's domestic pull. Is that movie this good?
I didn't think it would be. I am not big on the Jurassic Worlds. Like the first one, I was like, yeah, I mean that was all right. And then they started coming out with more, and I'm like, okay.
Jake, Jurassic World has grossed more than Superman and How to Train Your Dragon.
Is it because of what is it?
I think
Why?
I think it's like new dinosaurs, new unique takes, new like that. I think it's got to be the concept of like all this time throughout the series or the history of the franchise, you've had like pre-established dinosaurs. A T-Rex is probably the major villain. Velociraptors are going to be chasing people, and it was almost copy and paste. You just put instead of Jeff Goldblum, you have Chris Pratt, right? Now you have almost it takes like a sci-fi horror turn more than any other installment where you have like the D-Rex, which is this new and exciting. So and maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe it's more interesting. I know it's fun. People say it's fun. I haven't seen it yet. But it's just, man, it's like I never would have imagined that Jurassic World Rebirth would be the one to kind of stand out thus far. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and do our predictions for next week. So Jake, looking at our films that are coming out next week,
I just did.
what do you think?
I'm thinking Fantastic Four, regardless. I'm actually going to put Weapons. Weapons is coming out next week. I'm going to put that at 2. I think it can pull 20 million because I think that's what it's going to take second place because you got Bad Guys 2 at 22 today. Naked Gun at 17. They're probably not going to make more money than they did in the first week. I think Weapons can pull 20 in its first, which is kind of like it's not an upset, but like I think it's hopeful that this movie will garner 20. I think Quiet Place Day 1, which I don't remember being like super massive, like everybody wants to go see that movie.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm basing it off of. I was like, let's just base it off of that horror, not horror, but like I don't know, like a thriller.
Yeah.
So and it made like 20 something or low 20s.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I think Weapons could do it. Which is why I put it in second. If you needed an explanation, I think Bad Guys 2 playing off of the kid genre, Naked Gun, and then Superman. I think Naked Gun can pull a second week against Superman, I think Superman's going to drop a little bit more than Naked Gun will.
So I
We'll see.
agree with you as Superman as in last place. I think Superman
Yeah.
will probably fall, and I do think that Weapons will fall somewhere above that. Because when you think about the cult classic that Kreger's first film, Zach Kreger's is the director, Barbarian, that one huge, right? Like it wasn't huge when it released, but it became kind of this like cult following, and now in the horror sphere, it's pretty popular. And there's the whole narrative around with Weapons. You had Jordan Peele firing people supposedly for not winning the bidding war for this production. So it's like I think there's a lot more legend around this one because it's like, and not legend as in like as glamorous as it sounds. It's more like, oh, Barbarian now has this following, and everyone who loves horror today has it on like one of their best releases of the last 5 years. And now that guy's coming back with a sequel, and supposedly it was great because of the production houses and the bidding war and whatnot. So I agree with you that Weapons will probably fall higher end of the top 5 and that Superman will fall down. My question is, will Freakier Friday, another legacy sequel, where will that one land? Like, you got Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, and I mean, a lot of people seem hyped for this. One of the classic Disney TV movies.
I haven't seen this at all.
You've not seen any of the stuff for Freakier Friday? It comes out this Friday, August 8th.
Is it a big deal?
I've seen posters all over Cinemark. I've seen stuff about it. I've seen stuff online.
You're the demographic.
I guess.
The problem is we're the same demographic. But particularly Ryan, they're reaching out to that guy. I have not heard of this at all. That's why I didn't even know. Okay.
I don't think so. It's an interesting concept because it's like, how much will nostalgia win out, right? Because nostalgia is right up there with family.
I mean, man, I don't know. Now you got me second guessing. If you want me to lock it in there, I'll lock it in there. But I knowing that there's another contender out there that I didn't even know about makes me worried about my first choice. My first 5 picks. So, but I still don't know because I can't trust it because I've never heard of it.
All I'll say is I asked that more as like just to throw a loophole. Is there a film that could come out of the dark like a Freakier Friday with the legacy, with the fanfare that it has for the original? You're returning the same cast.
Yeah, I
Hitting
really
the family.
don't know if I'm gonna take Superman out. Like you saying it, like saying that there might be one out there. I don't think Superman's gonna stay in the 10 million plus. Like I think it's gonna drop to single digit in the millions, and Freakier Friday might be right there neck and neck, and that's why I'm like, I don't know if I can keep Superman in there for top 5 for on its 5th week. I just don't know.
Does the Naked Gun have enough staying power? Like, how far will it drop?
I think in its second week. I mean, we can go off of like the generic usual is 50%. So if that would be 9, which arguably would keep it in the same spot. If you've got Weapons coming out, so it would drop it. But like Bad Guys 2, likely also going to be 50, 40, high 40s, 50% drop as well. So I don't know. That's why it's like Fantastic Four, Weapons, Bad Guys 2, Naked Gun.
This is where we will be. Superman, Freakier Friday, and the Naked Gun will probably all make around 10 to 12.
They're like right there.
Yeah.
It's just like a gamble.
I'm going to say that. So if you go by length of time, Superman going into its 5th week, Naked Gun 2nd, and debuting Freakier Friday, it's almost like you want to put Superman down, but it's also like you don't want to doubt the longevity of these films because they stick around for a long time. They're pesky. So
I'm Ryan, if you let me, I want to change it. I want to be Freakier Friday is going 5.
Okay.
I think Superman's out. I think it's out. If you
Really?
let me lock that one in, I might do that.
Okay. I'm actually going to.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Take that one from you.
I was thinking about it, but what I'm going to do is this is my Hail Mary. I'm calling an upset, okay? I'm calling Freakier Friday finishes 4th, and I'm going to say, I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to say Superman finishes 5th. I think Naked Gun will drop out.
Superman lost 53.2% second week, 57.5 third week, 44 for the fourth week.
I'm gonna
I think it's gonna
say I think that
stay there.
I think that Superman will finish with like 9, and I think Freakier Friday will drop from 17. And I think
That's crazy. That's not a
I'm
lot.
calling.
Like
I'm just
9
calling
is
an upset. I'm calling an upset.
yeah. Yeah, because you're talking like a low. You're talking about like staying power at like 30
I just don't think
or even
I don't
less.
think comedies have the same like they don't have the same pull on the industry. Like they used to be this big deal, but they
Yeah,
don't anymore. That's just not a thing. And I feel like family friendly legacy nostalgia is what it's going to be.
gotcha.
So I'm going to stick. So to recap before we move on, our predictions are Jake is going Fantastic Four, Weapons, Bad Guys 2, The Naked Gun, and Freakier Friday. Superman drops out of Jake's top 20
No
or top 5.
Superman.
For me, it is Fantastic Four. I'm going to say Bad Guys 2 finishes second again because it again, that family friendly animated. I think Weapons will finish third. I'm right there with you on everything you said about this film. But then I have Freakier Friday actually finishing fourth. I'm going to, again, my Hail Mary, I'm going to say that nostalgia, the return of Lindsay Lohan, the Jamie Lee Curtis, that star-studded cast with the nostalgia is going to get it to where it needs to be. And I think that the comedy that is The Naked Gun, it being a genre that is, while still popular, is not as much of a heavy hitter in the box office. So I'm going to say that that's going to drop, and it's going to be tight. Those last three are going to be, it's going to be really close. But I'm going to say that The Naked Gun falls out, Freakier Friday slips in, and Superman stays right about where it's at 5.
Gotcha. I don't think we did very well last week either. If you want to go through that.
Yeah. So, our predictions last week. So we're going exactly right as we call it. We're not going by like if they were in the top 5, we're correct. We're going by the placement.
No.
So Jake had Fantastic Four 1, and
I'm still working on mine because
okay, yeah.
I don't think I got. I think I got Superman 4.
So we each
But
finished
we can
with
go through
2
that.
out of 5. Jake was right about Fantastic Four 1 and Superman 4. I was also I was 2 out of 5 with Fantastic Four 1, The Bad Guys 2 in second. And that's
Yeah.
where we will take a tie going into next week.
Yeah.
So
My upset was Naked Gun beating out the Bad Guys 2, which I don't think they're close enough even in the estimates to say that it's going to, or we have a chance. And Jurassic World holding 5th, I don't think there's a chance that Together takes it either.
no.
So I don't think this is going to be something we come back to and say, actually, we both got, no, I think these are pretty accurate in the way they are.
Yeah.
So, but those were our predictions last week's and this week's. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Come back to figure out who wins next week.
Yeah.
So that will conclude our first segment. Coming up after the break, we get our first sneak peek at Tom Holland's upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day. We see his costume, a lot of fun stuff, and Stephen Knight to write the next 007 feature coming up next. Welcome back to Beyond the Screen. You made it to segment 2, in which we start delving into the major news from Hollywood, from cinema, from entertainment. We're talking about TV and film and that sort of thing. So we're going to hop right into it. As we teased, before we went to our break, we officially got our first look at Tom Holland's new Spider-Man suit as in preparation for next year's Brand New Day release. We're just going to hop right into it. After a quick tease of the new Spidey suit from actor Tom Holland on August 1st, in which he released a little picture, it was like, hey, new thing. Which, again, it was on Spider-Man Day, which is why he teased it on August 1st. A full teaser was released the next morning on August 2nd, as according to Variety, in which we see Peter Parker hidden in darkness as a large door starts to open behind him. He hops around as if to prepare for something to come. Once the room floods with light, he turns toward the camera, revealing a much brighter suit with a larger spider insignia adorning his chest. Our hero looks off screen, asking someone, "We ready?" before smiling at the audience and running off screen. We also got a ton of set photos, giving audiences even more glimpses at the new look suit, which, as you can see at home for our audio visual watchers, bright blues, raised webbing. The red is not quite maroon like it's been in the past. It's a lot more Spider-Man comic book adjacent, if you will. This is the first time we've seen Spidey since the events of No Way Home, in which Holland's Webhead teamed up with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to defeat a coalition of multiversal Spider-Man villains, a battle that culminates in the erasing of the entirety of Peter Parker's existence from the minds of all of the MCU. Many hope that this will lead to a more grounded Spider-Man, a notion that seems to be a reality as who now, or as, oh, excuse me, sorry. As what we now know that John Bernthal and his Punisher will be making his MCU big screen debut, and we might be getting a Mark Ruffalo. He is in there as the Hulk somehow, but what version of the Hulk we don't know. Will he be back to rampaging? Who knows? But we do know Mark Ruffalo will be in there. As to which version, we don't. So many online surmise that our three heroes will be in some sort of conflict. So battling it out. Nobody knows who Spider-Man is anymore. And if he's in the same city as a street level hero as the Punisher, that's easy to see why those two would probably not get along. And if for whatever reason Bruce Banner lost control of the Hulk, that's a whole other problem that would be interesting for our heroes to have to deal with.
Do you remember the comics where the one of the only people that remember him is the Hulk and not like Banner? It's the Hulk. The Hulk was not affected by the. I don't know if it was in the comments that it was a Doctor Strange spell that made everybody forget, but
Yeah.
the Hulk is one of the only people who was not affected.
Yeah.
And so he remembers puny man, man spider. I don't know what Hulk calls him. But
Peter.
something like that.
Yeah.
No, it can't be that.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But no, I would like to see. It would be kind of cool if he did remember him. To what?
I think that's what's gonna happen.
To what interaction have they had thus far, though? Like, I know, like, has Hulk seen a lot of Spider-Man outside of like maybe Civil War? I don't feel like we've seen a lot of MCU like interaction between the two. And technically, no, it wasn't Civil War because Hulk wasn't in Civil War, was he?
No. I mean, he has to know of him if he's going to be fighting with the Avengers. I mean, it had to be like in-game level, like he knows of him.
Well, remember that in Endgame, again, that was Smart Hulk. So it was technically Banner that saw him. So I don't think we would have had any experience thus far in the MCU. There's so many projects. I might be forgetting like a singular moment. But like,
yeah,
it's interesting. I would like for that to happen. I'd like to see like, because that's such a sweet moment where it's like Peter is just so like he's by himself, and then it's like this one thing remembers him and shows him some kindness, and even if it is in the ragefulness that is the Hulk. So I just
apparently there was a deleted scene with them in it for a crossover film.
Oh,
but
nothing that we actually saw on screen. So it's more likely than not. I don't know. I don't know how these three characters will interact. We know that they're going to be in there some way. At least John Bernthal and Mark Ruffalo are involved in this film. As to what the storyline, there are some theories. We kind of have some knowledge, but there's a lot more theories. So, going back to casting, it is also reported that Michael Mando of Better Call Saul fame will be returning to returning to the MCU. I'm so sorry, to don his scorpion costume and portray the character again. Which that's according to Collider, which would again be an interesting villain. I worry there's gonna be too many characters. You got Scorpion.
Haven't seen a movie that had like, well, I guess it's Doom, right? I mean, aren't we getting a movie that has 30 plus?
That's Secret Invasion, not Secret Invasion. That's the next Avengers level film.
Right.
Yeah, but
I mean, we're gonna have like 30 different. We're asking the same questions for that one. This one, if it's 4, no.
They have treated Spider-Man as like Avengers Light.
Yeah. So for this one with like all the characters, I really feel like we're going to see a lot of J. Jonah Jameson, because there's likely going to be some kind of it's not confirmed, but wasn't it like Negative Man's, like some of his insignias or negative
Mr. Negative,
right?
yeah.
Mr. Negative. His insignia is like on a lot of the I guess it's machinery or something, trucks, something like that. And so that's a teased level of involvement from that side too. So I really feel like it's going to be Peter trying to keep somebody from getting killed from the Punisher, and then J. Jonah Jameson's going to be like, he's a menace, He's a
Yeah.
menace.
I would. Is it
And
J.K. Simmons still? Because that's.
likely, I
I
hope
would
so.
throw that ball cap on that man and let him just go yelling again. He's so good at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I think that's what's it's gonna be. I don't know where Hulk comes into that equation, but I think the anti-hero conflict while also trying to save the day, but also not like killing the villain. I think there's gonna be a level of um, having Scorpion and possibly Mr. Negative is a
Yeah.
uh, it's odd to have two villains. So there's gonna be a main one. There's not gonna be a side one maybe, but
Yeah. So going deep into the storyline, here is where things that we again reported it's rumors, but if this is true, then we kind of get a glimpse into how this will go. So according to Variety, the storyline is reportedly inspired by the comic of the same name, in which quote. Spidey makes a deal with the devil, Mephisto, to make the world forget his identity and to resurrect Aunt May, but it also dissolves his marriage to MJ and effectively reboots his world.
yeah.
So I feel like if you're bringing in like a demonic presence like Mephisto, he's someone who could totally undo
Fix it.
whatever deal that Banner and Hulk had, right? Like that's like your easy like out to that. It would be interesting if Mephisto popped up and was like, "Yeah, I'll give you back Aunt May, or I'll make MJ remember you." But you have to
You
like,
think they'll kill Aunt May in this?
oh yeah, no, but like you know what
She
I'm
doesn't
saying?
remember.
To save her, like would she remember him if she? That would be such an interesting plot hole. Is like, or not plot hole, but like in his wish, I guess, is like the deal he makes is like, oh, I wish he was alive, but she doesn't know who he is. So it's like
Yeah.
because that spell is still in place. But I don't know. I would be interesting to see how they would take this because obviously like world forgetting the identity, we've already kind of got there with the last film, but we're already there. So how does that with Mephisto, if that is the story we're following, that makes sense to how the Hulk could get back to his rampaging self.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I wonder if maybe when the world forgot about Peter Parker and maybe Spider-Man in turn, right? Like say he's starting from scratch. Like we know he's starting from scratch, but let's in terms of reputation, right? Nobody knew about Spider-Man, so that in turn created what world we see in Punisher and in Daredevil, where New York and Hell's Kitchen is like literally hell. Like it is
Right.
a crime-ridden, just terrible place. And maybe that's why we haven't seen that in the MCU thus far, is because when Spider-Man's around and when the Avengers are around, that's not necessarily something that can fester. But because Spider-Man's forgotten and the Avengers are essentially broken up because of everything that happened in Endgame with Thanos and the death of Rogers and Stark, it's like now that's where this can happen. Is the main heroes are dead. There's no legit like policing force for these things, and the memory of the one person who was taking care of your city is gone. The reputation's not there to be like fearful of any major hero. So that's how you bring in Punisher, and that's how they exist.
Right. I we have a video of his suit, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I just want to
Sorry.
don't move on until we get that. But go. I think you have a little bit left, right, Ryan?
Oh yeah, there's a little bit more here. So the film is directed by Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel, and it's a July 31st of next year, so 2026 release date. So it's going to be our summer blockbuster a year from now. So if we have that video, we could show it to our visual watchers, our YouTube and Spotify people. If not, if it's not in there, that's not a big deal. But
It's in there.
there it is.
Whoa,
A note,
that's all it
a
is.
note that you
That's
saw
all
on
it is.
there, a note that you saw on there, or something I want to note of something you saw, the raised webbing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell Ryan. It's like Ryan, tell the people what you love about it.
God, it's just I love like it's
McGuire moment.
it's very well. It's not just the raised webbing that's giving McGuire's suit. It's also the new symbol is a lot more. It's broad.
Longer.
It's still skinny,
Yeah.
but it's more. It's very much so. You could tell that they were like, okay, what suit did the people like that we can like fine tune the colors to make it more comic book accurate, but also more familiar. So they took. The spider insignia and the raised webbing off of McGuire and threw it on a comic book accurate bright blue and red. And
Yeah.
it looks great. It looks fantastic.
In the last movie we saw him actually in it, and then this one, I just personally feel like the blue is too shiny. It has too much sheen
Yeah.
to it. I don't think like Amazing Spider-Man or McGuire's had that much like reflective nature to it.
Yeah.
And so that's just my like critique of it. I was like, I don't particularly care for the sheen as much as like the prior Spider-Mans.
I
But other than that,
yeah,
I think it's awesome.
in those
Right.
pictures and those images we saw, I didn't really see a lot of shine. It did definitely
Right.
shimmer in at the end of No Way Home. But
In
like
the
as
end.
you see here, it looks more almost like matte, like coarse instead of
Yeah.
shiny.
Right.
Well, there's some shine on it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was the suit at the end of like that's shiny. Like to me,
Yeah,
that's
no, you're right. You're right. It
got
is
more
much.
shine
It's
to it.
more shine.
That does not. I don't
It
know if
has.
they're changing suits or it's just light.
I think it might be a trick of the light because it looks like it's coarse, like it's got some texture to it, but
Yeah.
I think it looks
It
great.
doesn't. Yeah. Like in these photos, 100%. At the end of that film, I really just feel like it looked like spray painted like blue, like chrome. Like it looked
Well, that's
like
kind of the
chrome. And I
point,
was like,
though. Like he's making
well,
it work.
yeah. See, that doesn't look like it at all.
Well, this is what I'll say is about this, and everyone's harping on the suit, and for
Right.
good reason. But like what I will say is seeing that it has some bend to it, right? Like seeing that it's actual material, like that is
Yes.
something that was really unique about the Garfield and especially the Maguire suits was that it was real. It was very real.
Yeah. It wasn't CGI, which makes it like skin tight.
Yeah.
Which I mean, he's street level now, right?
Yeah.
So
Like it looked. No, don't get me wrong. The Holland suits up to this point have been cool. And like there's
Right.
still Spider-Man, but it's like you talk about like is it giving Spider-Man? Seeing those images of him turned and like you see like the creases in it, and it's like
is it giving broke? Is it giving made himself
destitute, alone, sad? Is it giving? And it does. But
depression?
yeah, but Peter Parker, dude, the most tormented comic book character of all time. Batman can't hold a candle.
Nope.
My parents died, bro. Anyway,
I don't like him unless he's super sad.
sad. Hey, have you thought
Broke.
sad?
He has to have no money.
Have you seen that? Man, it's been forever ago, but I think it was like IGN or Screen Rant like wrote a story about it. Like Marvel's comic book, like one rule about Spider-Man is he can never like have a happy ending. That's like his
Right.
like he can never get married to MJ. Like he could
That's the
never
whole point.
and so it's like I wish I would have thought to have found like link that here to have something to read to, but man. Anyway, well, any final thoughts on Spider-Man of what we saw? I like what we've seen. I think it looks cool. But I'm curious your thoughts.
I've got nothing more than I mean, everybody's gonna have an opinion about the suit, right? I mean, I have one, you have one. Um, uh, Overall, great direction with it, like with the suit in general, and then I really look forward to seeing this movie and like J. Jonah Jameson has to be in it. You can't have this level of Spider-Man without him getting called a menace. I'm actually interested in figuring out, or we might have already seen it, but how he gets into photography because he has to be a photographer for J. Jonah Jameson.
The Bugle. Yeah, this has got to
Yeah,
be
the
when
Bugle.
that happens. Oh, like that's a thing we've not even seen from Holland
Right.
is
And so I want to know how they explain him picking up a camera.
yeah.
Because like for us, you can't just pick up a camera and be like, here's newspaper worthy images.
Yeah. When you
I
think
mean,
about the
we've seen
character,
some pretty bad ones out there, but
Ooh.
but right.
yeah. When you think about the character, this guy's like wicked smart because he's also like an
Right.
engineering student who's like he's like one of the most if he had time to just be a student, he was like one of the great minds of like his generation. But also on the
Yeah.
side, he's just like a world-class photographer, which is not easy. So it's like
Yeah.
how's he got time for all these
Well,
things?
I believe that if he put the time in, he could be. He's that smart. But like, I just want to know if that's the route they're gonna take. Is like, are they gonna show him studying photography, or like, I don't know. I don't know. That's why. But that's what I'm looking forward to is overarching the whole movie, J. Jonah Jameson, and then the explanation of how he becomes a photographer for the Bugle.
Yeah. I'd be interested in that too. So we'll go ahead. That'll conclude our Spider-Man story, and we
On
will
that
go
note.
and we'll go ahead and move into our second story in our second segment. Stephen Knight, the writer and producer of Peaky Blinders, is set to write Denis Villeneuve's James Bond film for Amazon MGM. This is not a small I almost said casting. He's not going to be acting, but this is not a small hire for the now Amazon-led Bond franchise. So after landing powerhouse director Denis Villeneuve to lead the creative direction of the next installment into 007, many were curious as to how fast producers Pascal and Heyman would move to acquire talent. Like, is now that we have the first shoe to drop, is this now the second that will lead into our finally getting to see our new face for James Bond? With many heavily anticipating an announcement soon. Villeneuve takes control. He's right after Dune. He's going to move into James Bond. So people are, where's the Bond hire? Where's the Bond hire? Well, according to Deadline, Amy Pascal and David Heyman, who are the new producers for Amazon for James Bond, in recent weeks, they were strictly focusing on finding their writer. They had no interest in finding after a director, they were not going to talent. They said, we need someone to write. So enter Stephen Knight into the equation. As the critically acclaimed English-born screenwriter reportedly did everything he could to ensure he was at the top of any list regarding the pen behind 007. Everything came down to Villeneuve, however, as the director had yet to meet with Knight, a meeting of which had to happen before the latter could officially join the project. So, as Deadline writes, quote, a final sign-off could not be given until he, as in Knight, met with Villeneuve, who is currently filming the next Dune film. Insiders say that meeting finally took place in the last week, with Villeneuve fully on board for Knight to get the job. As for Knight's accomplishments, he is a multi-time Emmy-nominated, and a BAFTA-winning writer and producer for hit series like the aforementioned Peaky Blinders, but also for series such as Taboo, Apple TV's C, the BBC's SAS Rogue Heroes, and more. He's got a long, like a laundry list of written accomplishments, as in the pen behind stories, 4 novels. Like, this guy is he's a linguist. He's very good with what he does. How do we feel about the creative team thus far assembled by Amazon MGM, Pascal, and Heyman?
Oh, this is gonna be awesome. It's just, you have to tie it all together with that actor. Who's it gonna be? Tom Holland.
No.
Tom Holland. It's gonna be him. It's gonna be him.
It is funny in retrospect that these two are in the same week, aren't they?
I think it's a sign.
No, I really hope, because like if you really
I just cannot fathom Tom Holland being 007.
Look at him. You just saw him. Come on.
Look at him.
The dude just is not. Again, he's not giving James Bond. He's giving destitute Peter Parker. But
he's giving squeamish boy.
But really though, like you're laughing and you're trying to rile me up, but really though, and it's I don't know. I want to see someone with a little bit more edge to him, and this is even more so if you're going to have Stephen Knight be your writer, because Peaky Blinders and with Cillian Murphy, it's all edge. That is not like, it's not for the faint of heart. It's a good drama, and it's not like it's got a ton of gore, and it's not like you're gonna like faint from watching it. But the point is that like Tom Holland's character in that would not be one like a Cillian Murphy, right? Like he just would not be able to portray the same characters. And I feel like you bring on a Knight because he has that edge to him. That if like I keep like referring to like textures, but when you think of like 007, like that's how he is. He's smooth, but also when things get rough, he's not afraid to pull the trigger. He's not afraid to make the hard decisions. You know, he's had a rough upbringing. A lot of what you see, like especially with I'm thinking more or less of the Craig Bond, especially, but like a lot of what you saw with Daniel Craig and the way his story was told, and they'll go a new direction, but it was that facade is what we saw and what people think of 007, but really behind the mask, behind the womanizing, the shaken not stirred martinis, he's actually really gone through a lot to get to where he is. And I feel like that's why you bring on a Stephen Knight, is to get to that point again, to kind of stay in that realm and take it in a new direction. But I don't mean to just harp on Tom Holland. Our whole mid segment is just going to be Tom Holland, but he just doesn't. He will not fit that.
All right.
You disagree.
You're thinking we're gonna get another He's Literally Me level of James Bond. This like broken. You think it's gonna be dark?
I mean, I don't know, because if you would have hired someone, or maybe let's say you bring on, instead of Villeneuve, right, who's a very serious actor. You think of Blade Runner, Dune, then you bring on Stephen Knight, Peaky Blinders. Like these are guys that they have a very like together they make sense because they have the same almost aura about them with their works. So it's like
Aura.
But you know what I mean, though. Like,
know.
I'm not meaning that
Yeah.
in the sarcastic way. I mean,
I
or
think
not
it's
the
funny.
ironic way. I'm meaning that in the
I think the word is funny.
right. But I get what you mean. But like, I'm not meaning that ironically. I mean that like when you
Yeah.
think of their works, if you would have said someone who didn't know and they had only watched Denis Villeneuve films that he directed Peaky Blinders, they might believe you because they're very aesthetically like they're not the same per se, but you know what I'm saying? Is like the style is very similar. So you pair them together, I just can't see it being. I can't see it being something completely separate from what we saw with Daniel Craig. Like we will have something similar because that was what was successful and that's what people want. If you go with I wanted Edgar Wright because he could do like you talk about Shaun of the Dead, right? At World's End, and then you also have Last Night in Soho and Baby Driver. You have someone who could do both. Villeneuve doesn't, and objectively, he is a better filmmaker than Wright. But you're not going to get out of that realm. So if it was Edgar Wright, I'd say Tom Holland might make more sense. But it does not with this.
Come on.
No!
He could do it. No, I'm kidding. Put him in a beard. Put him in a beard.
You look like a kid with a beard.
He looked like you.
I don't know what to tell you, man. That's just what he'll look like.
Okay.
Can you imagine him just turning and instead of it like shaken, not stirred, he's like shaken, not stirred. That's what you want. That's what you want.
Can we get Tom Holland doing a gruff voice?
Shaken.
The whole movie.
Shaken, not stirred. It's just not going to be the same. It's still going to sound boyish, and that's going to get clipped too. I know it, but that's what's going to happen.
Okay. All right.
Are you right
Moving
now?
on.
I want to get on a serious note. Are you really saying that you would be interested in seeing Tom Holland take up that mantle?
I think it would be so funny.
You want it for the
I think it would
meme.
be so funny.
Okay.
Okay. Not for real. He doesn't. Emily is.
She would be
in
interested.
Tom Holland. Standing woman emoji. If anybody knows what she's talking about.
Standing in the corner. I would like to see Tom Holland. Join us, Emily. Give me your opinion if you're comfortable.
Yeah. Is that because it's Tom Holland? You like Tom Holland, or is that because it's interesting?
Like different.
Muted.
You're muted. Hold on.
I think he fits the vibe for what we're looking for because if you think of James Bond, you're thinking someone who's sleek and clean cut and charming, and Tom Holland's all of those things. And if they're looking for, they're thinking of this strategically, they want someone who's going to continue playing James Bond for a long time. And since Tom Holland's younger, I think that would fit the mold they're looking for. He's very sharp and clean, a little too perfect looking.
No,
That fits the vibe. That fits the vibe of James Bond. He's supposed to look rich and clean and sharp and charming. And Tom Holland is all those things. And he's British. People love British guys. And he's 007. You know.
Yeah.
So.
He has to be British.
I actually think those are actually good points that I hadn't really thought about, and especially the age thing, because that is a good point. I know they're going younger, but that's not something that I have been arguing. But I want you to do something for me, Emily. Can you put him back up? Can we see Tom Holland again?
Mhm.
In Spider-Man?
Yeah, in his Spider-Man costume. Bro!
Come on.
I'm just giving you.
That's James Bond, dude. Look, he's got the butt for it.
Oh no! I'm just joking.
Look, that's him. That's literally him.
I don't know. You make a good point. I just don't know if I can agree. I just can't. I don't think I could take him seriously.
It's either him or Jacob Elordi.
He's so. Have you seen how shiny he is?
Yeah, that's the problem. I said that I don't like the shot. No.
No.
I mean his face, his complexion.
Sorry.
No, I get what
Yeah.
you mean, and I see the appeal. He's in terms of if you're Pascal and Heyman, he's a world star and he's young, and you can hold on to that, and he is clean cut. I guess maybe I
think he looks older than you guys are remembering him.
I don't think Pascal's gonna be it.
Well, you know what's interesting? Do you know why it might be Tom Holland? Because you reference Amy Pascal. You know what she did before she was the Bond producer? She was the Spider-Man producer. Do you know who hired Tom Holland to be Spider-Man in 2015?
It's
Amy Pascal.
So real. We can almost touch it, Ryan. It's so real. It's here. It's now. I'm just telling you. This is a fact.
Hang on.
Hang on. Bear with me. Bear with me.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're gonna see Tom Holland because I didn't even. That's not even a thing I thought about. Like, why is Tom Holland attached to this? It makes no sense. I
I
forgot.
love how Ryan just flips.
I forgot her opinion. I forgot her whole background. No, I am
He's
not.
one of them swing states.
My opinion is still the same. It's gonna happen now because I just connected all those dots about like why he's even there. Again, outside of the fact that he is British and he's like world renowned and young.
I love how I started it as like a joke of him being it to rage bait Ryan, and now he's actually like, oh gosh, this is a possibility.
Now
He's actually
it's-
like talking himself into this being a possibility. He's
not
like,
even-
It's never gonna happen.
Bro, it's not even like a thing. I wish that I would have caught on to this sooner. It's now it's like, oh god, Amy Pascal is hiring. It's gonna be Tom Holland. No, please.
Oh, the realization, man.
Okay, well, you guys are lucky because my computer's not working and I can't show you a picture of Tom Holland where he looks like he could probably be James Bond.
I mean, I've
So-
seen the photos of him in a tux. It's believable.
It is. Which is so James Bond.
Dude, I think it's so funny because I'm not like necessarily swayed either way, but Emily is like fully believing that he could be. Ryan's like fully believing no, and
He's
then I'm
so
like,
clean cut. He's so
I'm
clean
poking
cut.
the
and
bear that's like, yeah, that's right. Yes,
He
is
looks
clean cut.
fancy.
It's not like
Does he not look?
he does. He does look fancy.
He's fancy.
Let me put it. I'll put it this way. He doesn't look like someone I would believe would effectively pull a gun, like pull a trigger on a gun. I don't think I don't believe that. I just don't. I don't know if it's just the boyishness of Peter Parker has just gotten to me too much. It's just.
You're biased.
I will agree with that.
Tom
I am.
Holland is.
Yeah.
Hollandaise sauce.
I am biased.
Ryan, I don't know if you have access to your email, but I sent you an email of the Tom Holland picture, and you should definitely screen share that.
Hold on.
I don't know if you should screen share your email, Ryan, but
No, well, I could show you. I
can
could show the
save the
people at
image.
home. I could show the people at home. So, like that.
that's the one I've seen.
He's so fancy. Tell me what James Bond is supposed to look like then.
I'll show you.
It's gonna be like Idris
Gonna be
Elba or
Daniel Craig.
something.
Just give me a second.
I saw a post on Instagram from
That.
50 minutes ago.
He should look. He should look
Come
like
on.
Daniel
You,
Craig.
you were
come
gonna
on.
show me that.
Come on. Disney wanted to use AI deepfakes from the live action Moana remake for it. Yeah, this is a Film Buzzer Instagram post. I don't think that would have gone well. So that's your breaking news in the middle of this.
They
episode
usually are good
posted.
about referring to who they got that from. Did you see it?
At the bottom it says, "Dude, every time you ask me for that, they don't."
I
They
swear I've
didn't.
seen
Oh,
it on.
sorry, Wall Street Journal. My
Okay.
fault.
No, it's okay.
The Wall Street Journal said Disney
Hmm.
was going to use AI deepfakes for the live action remake of Moana.
Okay. Ugh.
Why?
Wasn't there a whole
Why?
lawsuit about using deepfakes on set? Wasn't that a thing?
Wasn't there like
Background people.
I feel like Disney can be tone deaf.
Oh,
majority
really?
Of the time. The majority of the time. Anyway,
Do
is that it from
Did I
James
say, do
Bond?
we have any thoughts on? We got way off topic and talked about a lot about Tom Holland. It's the same thing. I mean, they're really like you can't talk about one without the other because now they have their actors. Inevitably, it's going to be or not their actors. They have their creative team. It's going to be the actors. We are a split household. We're a household divided in this call. And
I think if you separated your associations with Tom Holland as Peter Parker and Daniel Craig as 007, is that his name?
yeah.
Then we would be in agreement here.
But go back to all the Bonds and then listen to their voice. Like Pierce Brosnan, right? Yes, Daniel Craig, Sean Connery. They were not. And then listen to Tom Holland. Tom Holland is a lot more boyish. And that's what I'm talking about. He just doesn't sound.
That's the whole point. They're remaking it. They don't want an older guy who sounds gruff.
Well, I wasn't saying older. I was just saying not Tom Holland. Young and gruff.
Give me 3 words that you would use to describe James Bond.
Smooth,
Sex.
a little bit of edge, so like hardened, and unapologetic.
You're just trying to get Peter Capaldi in here as James Bond.
Okay, Doctor Who reference. No, he's too old. But I do love Pete Capaldi. I'm saying he should be younger. I just said he needed to be younger. I just said young. Go back and listen. I just said young and hardened. Young with edge. Okay.
This is moving on.
This is
I stand by my point.
okay. Hey, again, I'm not going to be hurt if it is Tom Holland. It's just going to be like, oh, I'm not going to be happy about it, but I'm not going to be hurt. I'm sure he'll do
It sounds
fine.
like you're going to make a single soul episode to trash talk Tom Holland if he gets the part of 007.
If Tom Holland's cast, you're going to see
Like,
an
You're like, hey guys, welcome to You on the Screen. No shade, like I'm not like fired up about it or anything, but this whole episode is about how Tom Holland should not have been James Bond. And then Jake and I aren't even here, and you don't even tell us about it. You just start making the episode streaming from your house about this whole topic. So.
Unrelated to our weekly episodes on a random Thursday night, it's just a 3-hour deep dive into why Tom Holland shouldn't be James Bond.
I wasn't gonna say 3 hours. I was gonna say like it's gonna be a random 16-minute long.
No, I just love
podcast
the idea
on
that
like
it's
a
super
Thursday.
long.
And you're like in a dark room and no one knows where you are. You're like, hey guys, welcome back to Me on the Screen. And
Guys, this is wrong.
They don't know I'm doing this.
like, no one knows I'm here.
You can hear my teeth chattering in anger, just grit, just anyway.
And then you hear knocks on the door, and you're like, "This is Jake and Emily. Are you seriously doing this right now?"
Ignore them.
And on that note,
We're going to move on past our second segment. So coming up after the break, Jeremy Strong, Mickey Madison, and more connected to the social network too, new trailers, and what you should know before you go. Up next. And welcome back to Beyond the Screen. You made it to segment 3, of which we always like to say thank you. We always just kind of take a moment, and this is more of me being sappy and Jake staring like. But
I will say thank you for sitting through that whole Tom Holland 20-minute probably.
it is
long.
relevant. It's relevant. But the point is, you've been here an hour, and we're really appreciative of you. We have a lot of fun with this. We usually stumble and bumble over our words, and we're just guys. We're not like here to sit here and give you a straight newscast. We're here to just talk about what we're passionate about, give our opinions, and just have some fun. I do get to do this with two of my great friends, two of my closest friends, and I'm excited every Monday. And I'm excited to talk to you guys. So if you have anything that you like or you disagreed with, or you want us to talk about, always shoot it in a comment or underneath. You can comment on Spotify too, but especially on YouTube. We'd love to hear what you guys think and love to discuss your guys' points. Let us know where you're watching from, because I'm curious. I'd love to know where and when. But other than that, just as always, thank you so much for sticking around this long. If you're a regular listener, for coming back every week. And that's actually a great point. Is Emily just asked about Hollow Moon, and I had it at the top, and then I forgot because of our drink segment. We're leaving Hollow Moon. We're leaving Hollow Moon Media Network, the YouTube channel, this week. Starting next week, there will not be any more episodes here. So we're like sad violin, sad music, but this has been a lovely home for us, and we've grown our content a lot here. So it's not like it's an easy decision to leave where we are, but it makes us a lot more visible, and this is just the next step in our growth. So starting next week, find us at Beyond the Screen Podcast on YouTube, and that's where you'll see even more down the line. We have plans for more content when that's available, but we really think that you'll have a fun time there. All of the moments that you love and our past episodes are already over there. So starting next week, August 11th, no more episodes on Hollow Moon, just Beyond the Screen podcast. So thank you guys so much for being here. Like, subscribe, tell your mom about us. With that,
and your dad,
and your aunt, and your uncle, and your grandma. And on that note,
brother, sister,
we're going to go on into our third segment. So we're going to start with Aaron Sorkin's The Social Network sequel. Jeremy Strong, Mickey Madison, and Jeremy Allen White are all eyed to star in this sequel. Not quite a sequel, but kind of a sequel. And we'll explain to you what we mean by that here in a minute. But while no official offer has been placed, Deadline reports that Jeremy Strong is being eyed to succeed Jesse Eisenberg as the notorious head of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, in Aaron Sorkin's helmed follow-up to the critically acclaimed David Fincher-directed The Social Network, of which Sorkin wrote the original as well. The film is reportedly set to delve into the story of the Wall Street Journal's scathing series of articles from Jeff Horowitz, known as the Facebook Files. These articles, this series of articles, were published in the fall of 2021, and as, again, according to Deadline, quote, exposed the inner workings of and multiple harms caused by Facebook. Thus, this film is a follow-up, less of a sequel, but it's still going to be called probably The Social Network 2. Jeremy Allen White and the Oscar-winning, again, Mickey Madison are both in talks. White is set to play, if he accepts, the reporter Horowitz, and Madison, the whistleblower who set the series of events into motion in real life. So with that, are we interested?
I am very interested in watching the first one.
Oh,
I did not. But also, sorry, long pause, dramatic pause. This is not going to be political, right? We have seen that announcement come out before. Even the actors. I mean, this is 2020 COVID era, like the detriment that Facebook had. But it's not going to be political. So that's going to be a very, we talked about this before. It's like, it's going to be very weird.
yeah.
How are you going to do that? Because I thought the whole controversy was their political or their involvement in the political atmosphere and Russia and XYZ of all the rumors and proven or not proven. But I don't know. What could it be? I don't know enough about Facebook to really know what this movie is going to be about. Because if it ain't politics, what else did they do?
I think the spin they've got on it, and this part of the whole thing is where my big problem is, because we talked about this before, and the big point is that Sorkin wanted to do a follow-up for a long time. He just had no story. And so it's like you have that. The thing about sequels is that a lot of time there are like the best sequels are planned out from the beginning. Like if you know you're going to do a sequel, then you get a sequel. But it's a lot of time too, like when you get to what this sounds like is money. Oh, The Social Network, which watch it please, because David Fincher, he's one of my favorite directors of all time, and he does a masterclass. He just is so good about getting that emotion, and it just feels so raw and real in everything he does. There's not one bad line of dialogue in any of his films, and The Social Network is arguably his best. And that's saying a lot, because he's also done Seven and Zodiac and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and Gone Girl, and I could go on and on and on, and Mank, which is so underrated. But arguably his best film, Oscar-winning film, The Social Network. My big problem is, one, Sorkin does not have, he has experience, he has directed before, but never anything massive, never anything that has won anything legitimately. So you following up David Fincher, which is a tough act to follow to begin with a story that you are forcing because you waited 15 years for something to happen so you could have a story, because you've had it in your mind you're going to do a sequel anyway. So it's like, is there a story there? No. So you're not doing a real follow-up, or you're not doing a real sequel. It's more of a follow-up, and it's about something super political that still to this day divides the nation. But it's not a political movie. It's more of a commentary. Like
I feel like it's gonna have an identity crisis
yeah.
People are gonna pull politics into it. I mean, because it is directly correlating to politics. You can't have it in that year with all of that stuff happening and say it's not gonna be political.
That's like me making a political statement and then telling you, but it's not political. Like, what do you mean?
Brian does that all the time, actually.
Yeah, ha. I really don't. But it's like, I think the identity crisis is right. I think even if there was like, and the thing is, they could find like the idea of what led into, I think you could have a good thriller with like, and like a really good drama with how the Facebook files became a thing. I think that is like innately an interesting concept. But when, again, you're following Fincher, people are going to want it to look like a David Fincher film, and it's just not, because Sorkin is not going to be Fincher. Yes, Sorkin wrote the original, but he didn't direct it. And those are two different things. So
Right.
I'm worried about that. I think the identity crisis is perfect because, again, innately, it is a political topic. You're going to have to, you could stay objective and try to stay like center, but at some point, it's a political movie because you're talking about politics. So
Right.
I have a lot of concern with it being more of a cash grab because again, he said I wanted to make a movie after the first, but there was just no story until now. What do you mean there's no story? Then there's no sequel. Yeah, like there's just not. So I have a lot of
Waiting for something to happen.
yeah. Then you're just making another movie. Like it's just it's weird. I am not jiving with how this is shaping up to be. I Jeremy Strong, I don't really know a lot of. By the way, Jeremy Strong does not look like Jesse Eisenberg nor Mark Zuckerberg. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. The thing about the Eisenberg is he's awkward enough when he plays that character that you could believe it. It's believable.
Yeah.
Eisenberg does not look like Eisenberg doesn't look like Zuck, but he acts like Zuck like well. It's believable. Jeremy Strong just doesn't do. I don't know him to be awkward, nor does he look like him. So how's that going to work? But I don't doubt Hollywood makeup magic. But you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I love Jeremy Allen White and Mickey Madison. I loved.
Hey, look.
We got our guy back.
Sorry.
I loved Honora.
There we go.
Honora was
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
Honora, awesome.
Yeah. So it's like I know she's gonna be like this film is gone. It's got the firing power to be something really cool. Emily says she's sorry. It's okay. It's really not a big deal.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's got the acting chops. Sorkin as a writer, it's there, and it's got an interesting concept, but it's just like all this extra stuff that make me really concerned.
She's not taking it well.
It's okay. It was an
For the folks at home.
it was an
It
accident. It's okay. For our visual,
fair.
for our it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I think
They didn't even see it.
no for our not visual.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Anyway, Jake, what do you think? Give me more.
Give you more, man. I didn't watch the first one. I only see the clips with all the like business bros and like idolizing the way that they talk, like Andrew Garfield and awkward guy
Heisenberg.
name Heisenberg.
Jesse
Eisenberg.
Eisen.
Jesse. Jesse. No, the way they yell at each other and they treat each other poorly. I only get those edits of from like
Yeah.
tech
You wired in
bros.
now? Yeah.
But that's all I get. Like, and I guess I'm on that side of TikTok because I'm super into like the American Psycho and like literally me. Like, I get those edits all the time
Because they're
Like
ironic.
Tyler
They're
Durden,
funny. They're
Tyler Durden, all of those. Like, I get those, and then sometimes sprinkled in Social Network.
for the irony. Like it's funny.
for the-
yeah.
Right. See, irony. Anyway, it's low on the totem pole of movies that I am saying I'm going to watch. It is not top 5. It is probably not top 10 of movies I want to watch, but it is one that it's not one that I wouldn't want to see,
Yeah.
I guess. That's the best way to put it. But I'm just hopeful that it's not going to be political because I could see this thing flopping hard because people make it political. People are going to make it political. I don't think they know, or it's one of those tone deaf things. There's like, it's going to be political, guys.
Yeah. How do you not? I don't want to
There's
get back
not.
into it, but
Anyway, right.
and with that is our last story of the day. So we're going to go ahead and get into our trailers. We have 4 more trailers for you today, all releasing within the last week, and we think that there's some good ones coming up. So we'll start with the Steph Curry produced GOAT movie, Zootopia 2, Eternity, and The Conjuring Last Rites. So again, we're going to start with GOAT.
I'm Will Harris. All my life, I've always wanted to play professional war ball. Like my hero, Jet Fillmore.
I'm the best in the game.
But there's only one problem. I'm a small in a world of big. So, I got next.
A goat.
A go?
What are the rules, y'all? Small case ball.
Wanna bet?
It looks fun.
Yeah.
It looks fun.
Yeah. I think that one's going to be a good one. I think that's going to like resonate with like the whole Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, like that whole audience, because it looks like it, number one, but it's also, I feel like it's going to resonate with audiences. Number one, I mean, basketball, right? And then like
Yeah.
coming up, like being on the come up, fighting your way to the top, there's probably going to be a level of like idolizing this not so great character and then becoming better
Yeah.
than them. I can take stabs at the plot all day, but I really think that this one's going to be really good. And
Yeah.
it might have, I don't know if it's going to be a classic, but I think it has like the opportunity to be if the story's there.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I don't want to bleed too much of reality into this work of fiction because yeah, it is fiction, but it's hard not to imagine that because again, Steph Curry produced. Who Steph Curry's one of this generation, one of the best players that has graced a court. So
That's pretty political, Ryan.
yeah. See, no, it's not. But the point I'm making is that like his story, he I don't remember if he was the one who had like this crazy growing spurt, but he was not recruited out of high school. Went to Davidson College in Ohio or North Carolina, maybe North Carolina. Just this small
What was it?
Davidson College. Played it just a small what is known as like a group of 5 team, right? Like wasn't one in this power conference, smaller school. North Carolina. Thank you. Dayton is in Ohio. And he was there for 3 years, 2 or 3 years. And great shooter. He developed into this amazing player. And he kind of, you see the idea of like small can't ball, right? Like the idea that like, oh, like you don't fit a certain archetype, so you can't. Because notoriously, and I was a basketball manager for a really long time, basketball players are notoriously really tall. Yeah. I don't think I've ever said that on the show. Yeah, I worked in sports for a long time. And basketball players their average height's like 6'6", right? And Steph is like 6, I think now 6'4". But if I remember correctly, his story is like he wasn't recruited because he was short. Like he didn't hit his growth spurt till late. And so it was just like no one offered him. He wanted to go to the same school his dad went, and they didn't care. They had no interest in him. He goes to Davidson, does amazing job there, like multiple March Madness runs, multiple tournament runs for this small college, which you don't really like the Cinderella teams, right? Like that's what makes that a thing and why it's fun. Then he gets to the NBA, and he is now the best shooter of all time. They're undoubtedly the best shooter that's ever graced a court. So it's hard not to find parallels in his story to this film. And I just think it's going to be a feel-good story. Caleb McLaughlin, the guy who's in Stranger Things, he is the voice of our lead character. And I don't remember what his name was.
Will?
Was it Will?
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
I'm pretty sure it's
I
Will.
think you're right. And it looked funny. It looked like something that'll resonate. The animation, I love that comic book style that Beyond the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse that they employ. And it was something that I don't think they did the last Puss in Boots film, but that one had a very similar art style. I love that style. I think that the story will resonate. I think like the sports people, they love their movies, especially when, again, the sports films. So I'm excited to see where this one goes.
I'm still looking. Sorry. Will Harris.
Okay.
Yeah, Will. So Caleb. Sorry, there's others. David Harbour's in it.
Oh, wow.
And then Patton Oswalt.
Okay. Patton Oswalt.
And then I think that's Steph Curry's in it. He's a giraffe.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all it says is Lenny Williamson giraffe. Parentheses. So
Nice.
yeah.
It does look like it'll
looking
be fun.
forward to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's gonna do great.
Yeah. We good with GOAT?
Yeah. Moving on.
All right.
Oh, also GOAT, greatest of all time.
Oh
Did
yeah,
we-
that
did
is
we
the
say anything
reference.
about that?
That
I
is the
thought that was-
reference that
yeah,
they were
that's the
making. Yeah.
reference.
Sorry.
He's a GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Again, lived in that world. Anyway.
Bye.
Yeah. Our second trailer we have today is Zootopia 2.
Bunny, Fox.
This is a make or break assignment. Fail, and I will split you up.
No snake has set foot in Zootopia in forever.
Hops and Wild?
Wild and Hops. The dream team. Sorry, Paul.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You know, this is not your worst idea.
Wow, that was almost a compliment.
Your worst idea is what you did with your ears.
A lot of animal-themed films and trailers was released this past week. I liked Zootopia 1. It's a lot of fun. and
I thought the story was amazing.
yeah, I could not be more thrilled for Zootopia 2 in terms of like a story. It just looks like it'll be so fun. I love the teaser more than I like the actual trailer where they're in like the counseling, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
elephant
I
with the
left that
mouse.
part out.
Yeah, yeah. That is probably my favorite bit that they've done so far with this with the whole like teaser and the trailers and the sneak peeks. It just seems like it. What feels really nice about it is it really does feel like from what we've seen it just a continuation of the last story. Like what happens next? Does
Right.
Wild become a detective or a cop? It seems so because it just didn't feel like Judy Hopps would leave being that in that field because that's obviously they really worked hard to emphasize that that's what she wanted to do. So it's like
Right.
if they would have portrayed her character like that in the sequel and she leave, it wouldn't have been as realistic and it would have. So the idea that he was like, okay, like this is what I want to do because they worked well together in the first film. I'm excited. I actually,
Well, in that like first portion of this trailer was them in there, and they had only been partners for a week.
yeah,
And so this is like immediately
Yeah.
after, or at the very least, that scene was immediately after the saving of the city the first time, and so they're immediately put onto this next case. So I look forward to seeing what that case is because the story pivotal. I thought the first one was awesome with the just the overall idea of what was going on, and it was being orchestrated by a big bad that you didn't think it was going to be them.
yeah. The
Um,
twist is
and
insane
then
in the
the,
original.
the twist is crazy, and then just how they get out of it, but like also the leading up to it, and like the societal like portion of this story is intriguing to me. So
Yeah.
that was just like that's why Zootopia, despite all of the weirdness that you can find online, I thought Zootopia was awesome. Like
Yeah.
it's up there animated wise
in
movies.
in a world where like especially in media where everything feels like a commentary on society, Zootopia is like a shining light in that where it
Yeah.
feels accurate, it feels grounded, and it feels real. And that's again why I'm excited to enter that world again. I'm excited because and this is one of the rare sequels where it's like I feel like there's genuine story to continue with. Like
Yeah.
seeing Nick and Judy as partners, that is a genuine interest that you can continue with, a genuine story beat that is natural and fluid. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it looks beautiful in terms of the art. I mean, we talk about animation all the time here. And so I'm excited to see how they continue this story.
Well, this is mentioned in the trailer, and folks, you should go watch it. It's there after that snake that was shown that you guys saw, and Nick says something in there. He says something like, "Snakes haven't like stepped foot or slithered into the city that they're in." I forget this. Is it Zootopia? Is the city?
Uh,
They haven't stepped foot. No, I don't think
I
so.
don't remember. I'm gonna hold on.
City name. They haven't stepped foot in that city in like years, and it's like snakes. Like you have like jaguars and tigers and leopards, and like that was the whole point of the first movie. It was the societal, like they are the predators and the prey, and the predators need to be, contained or whatever.
It's called Zootopia.
Is it so?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So snakes not being allowed or not having stepped foot in the city, and then now they're chasing after this snake for whatever reason. I mean, it's the suspect, but that's I don't know. There's so much there. There's like
Yeah.
why, right? And we're gonna see this, and I'm gonna make this point on during the next trailer. I don't think this trailer gave away too much. I still have the why. Like I still
Yeah.
question it. I don't have the why. I lack it. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And that's what I have to say about it.
Seems like we're gonna get another like thriller type of beat because the snake again he makes the two in all the stuff and like it just seems like he's gonna be a more goofy character. So I don't think he's gonna be the actual villain.
No,
Yeah.
and that's not the way it's going to be. I know it's not going to be that, but like there's story there. It's
Yeah.
still that the take on the society that they live in. It's like why aren't snakes? I mean, you have jaguars and like I said, like lions and tigers
Like,
and bears.
Prey and like they had the idea of like predator and prey like living
They
in
live
the
together.
same, yeah.
But snakes,
You avoided
aren't?
snakes. Yeah. Another quick beat that's a really off topic, but when I looked up, because I wanted to make sure that Zootopia was the name and not just the name of the movie, in some European countries, they called it Zootropolis. which is arguably cooler.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
But-
please continue your
No, you're
line.
good. And then there's a horse mare now. Both mares stepped down, I think.
Yeah.
And now there's a horse. And I guess horses don't like snakes.
Probably.
I think that's going to be a point. I think we see that in the trailer. He like freaks out that there's a snake. So
Yeah. Very interesting.
moving on.
I'm excited. Yeah. Our next trailer is for Eternity.
We were together a week ago.
Well, a lot has happened in a week. You died, I died, I just been reunited with both of my dead husbands, and I have to pick where to spend eternity. You waited 67 years.
When eternity's on the line, seems like nothing.
You're a lurker, pal. You're waiting beyond to spoil a half a century of marriage.
It's not a competition.
Yes, he is!
Sweetheart, is 100% for sure a
It
competition.
is in fact a competition.
That's literally what we're here for.
I know, Jake, we talked about this briefly over the weekend, and you said you were not interested in this film.
Emily would like to speak on this.
Oh, of course. Yes. Join us, Emily.
A mutual friend of ours, at Rosie, and I were talking about this, and she showed me the official trailer. Here's what I think is going to happen. So, as you can see in the trailer, basically the woman dies and her like current husband dies in the same week, and then she has the choice. They have to pick one place to spend eternity, and her first husband that died, I think like in war or something like that, waited in like the waiting terminal for her for however many like years / decades, and she can only go to one place. And she has like basically pick the husband. I think personally that she's going to pick neither. Hot take. After like feminism is on the rise again, especially since Barbie.
I was thinking that. Yeah.
That she's probably going to pick
agree.
neither and be like, I'm actually a free woman. Because like if you watch the whole trailer, which I highly recommend you do, she spends a lot of time with her first husband that she was very in love with, and leaves the other guy on the back burner for a while. And either here are my two predictions that I told Rosie about as well. Hi Rosie, I love you. She's going to find out something big about her first husband, because while she's spending time with her first husband, you see her like most recent husband, he's like venting or like talking to like the workers you see there. Like, I love her, and like they're like looking over, and like her and her first husband are together. It's like, I don't know what to do. Like, how can I compete? And so like I think she's either going to find out something big about her first husband, about how there was some scandal going on, or he's not who she thought he was, or there's some secret reason he's been waiting for her and wants her to spend eternity with him, and she's gonna end up picking her first husband. Or because there's also a picture of them both, or a clip of them, the both husbands together, sitting together in the terminal, like together.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if they're both like, man, we lost her, and that she's going to live her best life. So those are my two predictions, but I wanted to mention that because I saw it and I'm excited to see the movie.
Yeah.
I think you're right on the dot. Really.
Great points.
Thank
But
you.
outside of like what we think's gonna happen, when I watched this trailer, I practically watched the whole movie. Like, and that's just me having commentary on the way that trailers are nowadays. I could probably skip to the end of Eternity and get my fill. Like, I don't need to watch the whole, like, just watching the trailer, I got it all. I know the conflict. I don't know the resolution. It's the only thing I'm missing.
Clip that statement, chat. That's a crazy statement he made. I could just clip to the end of Eternity
Yeah.
and be satisfied.
I think,
Go ahead, Emily.
well, it's supposed to be about the journey, and she's probably going to find herself along the way, similar to Barbie. So I feel like you're the kind of reason that people make movies like these, Jake. So
Missed the mark.
you're like, I don't
Based
need
on
to
the
see
trailer.
the journey. Just give me the answer, which is like,
I don't really.
Because the trailer was so revealing, is my point. The trailer had too much in it. It told me too much about the story that made me not really want to know the ending or the why. Like, I know the why. I just don't know what the decision's going to be. It's like fast forwarding through a TikTok.
Yeah.
I think the reason behind that, though, is it's probably a difficult concept to get people interested in unless they know more.
Yeah.
And the whole point is the reason why the decision is going to be at the end of the movie is to get watchers, the viewers, in to be emotionally invested into both of the male choices, to then also have an opinion at the end of the movie, regardless of what the woman chooses. And so you can't really understand that pool unless you see the trailer as it is now. Because it's like if you know, like, oh, someone has to choose between two people, but you don't know the conflict that goes into that and whatever. I think that's why they made it so revealing. But I understand your point, because if I know what a movie's already going to be about, like, I don't really care to see it. I watched something else like that recently. But yeah.
There's also the argument where, I mean, this is not a new concept, really. I mean, there's oftentimes that somebody in a relationship has to choose or is choosing between two people. It doesn't matter gender or what side of it you're on. It's just like that's happened before.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of instances where somebody's just like, if it's a choice, no, I don't even want to be a part of it. Don't choose.
Yeah.
Choose them. I'm out. I'm going to an eternity of Monster Jam and explosions over there, getting my ticket. I'm gone. Like there's a lot of people who are, and that's just like the guy. If it were me, like, why is there a choice?
I agree with that because there shouldn't be a choice. And there was one line that for me, it says that there shouldn't be a choice. If you're going to make one, right? Like I understand her wanting to be like
now
by
we're getting
herself.
into it.
Well, here's the thing. Miles Teller's character made a great point. Half a century of marriage.
67 years.
Of marriage.
Right. Well, I don't know. That's how long he's been dead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Assuming she remarried within a year.
Half a century of marriage. I just feel like in my mind, it's like, I don't know. Like I get the whole pull of like, this was like my first love and he died in the war and like that. But it's like you were with this guy for 50 years. Does that now that you're in
his argument is he never got a chance.
I get it. But like, I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. There's something that just rubs me wrong about this character being like, I don't know.
Just because you're with someone for a long time doesn't mean that you love them more than people that you've loved previously.
No, I mean, and I completely understand that, but it's like, it's also not like she's acting like she had a terrible time in life with this guy. Like, like length does not correlate to enjoyment. I can agree with that. Like in terms of years lived, I can agree with that. I don't know. I just feel like if there's going to be a revelation, like if she was treated bad by Miles Teller's character, that could be something that comes out. Did he cheat when he was overseas in the war? That could be another plot point that comes out. I don't know. I just feel like if she's just deciding between two guys that were both good to her and she was in love with both, and that's the story, which I have a sneaking suspicion, I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what it's going to be, is that both were just these awesome stand-up dudes and she's got to make a choice between these two guys that she did love, her first love and the guy she spent half of a century with. That I don't know how I feel about her being like, oh, I don't know who to choose, the guy that I loved for 50 years or the guy who I loved when I was young. So it's like that would be, granted, if there's more development and some different drama in there about her, the way that she was treated with her first versus her second, then it's different. But I don't think it's going to go that route. I think that's a different conversation. So again, I don't mean to just all of us be in agreement, be like, yeah, we're all right. But she'll probably go by herself. I think that there will be that'll be their twist.
I have this growing suspicion that
thank you, Emily.
Going to be a lot of secondhand embarrassment, and that will be a big reason I don't watch this. Like I just have that growing. It's like, oh, there's going to be several moments in there that I'm not going to like, and I probably won't watch. I have it's not a phobia, but I really don't like those moments. Like a lot of like the iCarly Victorious moments where it's like somebody said something, but that's not really what they said, and then it's
just talk.
Hate it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Especially about relationships. Can't do it. Hate it.
Yeah. I think we spent a lot of time on Eternity, so we're going to go on to our last trailer here, and it's for The Conjuring Last Rites.
8 people live in this house. 8 people have experienced this. 8 people are not crazy.
There's an evil here. Something I've felt before. It's the first one that we ever encountered. It wasn't done with our family.
Ooh, scary.
looks pretty good. I love the clip of she's like 8 people have experienced this. And it's like, dog, we are like 9 films deep in the lore of this movie. We believe you.
That particular one.
We believe you. I
That
know.
particular.
It's just funny. It's just funny when you think like this is like the last one in the series and you're still having to explain like, we know it's real. It's like, we've seen it many a time. It looks like it'll be good. It looks spooky.
I think it's interesting to call back to their earlier. When they first discovered, but I don't know. That's because I am not into The Conjuring. I just think that's cool from somebody, an outside perspective. And I was like, oh yeah, calling back to like when they first got started, and then they weren't able to exercise or I don't know, kill whatever.
Hop on in, Emily.
demons, so. Wait.
I never come on episodes. This is crazy. I have something else to say. So have you guys seen The Black Phone?
I have not, but I really do want to.
He sounded like he was gonna say yes.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, anyway, so that's basically just to give you the quick synopsis so I can relate these two things. Basically this boy gets like abducted and held hostage basically in the basement of this guy's place, but the way he gets out, sorry if this was a spoiler, it came out a couple years ago, but the way he gets out is that the ghosts of all of the previous boys that were abducted and held hostage and eventually give him hints to get out. They're like, oh, I hid this behind the walls, or like if you tap on the window so many times that maybe like blah blah blah, like you can break the glass, or if you open up this brick there's something behind it, because he's like, they're trapped in the same spot. So I wonder if that's going to have something to do with the house or whatever, that since they mentioned specifically that 8 different people saw the same things, or 8 different people experienced the same stuff, that there's going to be some way that each person from the past had contributed to some way to get rid of it, or to give them a sign or something like that. I'm a huge Conjuring fan, so I'm very excited for this to come out.
Dude, I don't think I remember watching the first Conjuring, I don't know, maybe a decade or more ago, like probably around the time it came out. And I have been seeking the high of how scared that thing made me since. The first Conjuring is terrifying. I feel like they kind of lost their way a little bit. I think the Nun and I think the Annabelle films, the spinoffs, they're not as good. But the Conjurings have like kept up. Like the sequels 2 and 3 are both really good. Not as good, but they're really good. So I'm excited to see how they kick off this franchise with their final, their finale with that is The Last Rites. I think, Jake, you made a great point about them going back to their original. And I do love the idea of, I just wonder like what other things in their cases have maybe been hinted at in the last 3 movies that they have done that may have contributed in the way you're talking about, Emily, to where it's like all the, as in The Black Phone, where all these kids, they figured something out before they died and they're giving it to this kid to save him.
Right.
What if there are little details in the first 3 that they had done that will give them like that kind of like, it's almost like a snowball that leads into this final with like little details that you might not have picked up on in the first watch that they will call back to in the 4th. That is a interesting like perspective, and I really hope that they do that, because that'd be really cool.
It'd be so cool for people who are Conjuring fans, like, oh, I remember that in that movie. I remember this in that movie. Yeah, really cool, like Easter egg stuff. But that's all I have to say. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and that was just an opinion I had. I'm now removing myself, but thank you guys.
Any thoughts, Jake? I know you're not a horror fan.
I have none. I'm not. I may have seen The Conjuring or The Nun in passing because of the people I was running with at the time, but I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think there's really anything else we could say about Last Rites, and we've been on trailers a lot, so I'm going to go ahead. We're going to move on here. We got one more little quick tidbit to get to you guys, and you guys know it. You love it. It is what you should know before you go. We always give you 4 or 5, maybe 6 if there's a lot, quick hits of
7,
news, 8, 9. But we want you to know about what's happening, but also sometimes they're just stories. They just are a 1-sentence story. And can we go into it? For sure, but we're going to give you them all at once, and we're going to talk about the ones that interest us the most. So we're going to start in the world of Warner Brothers. You hate them. You love them. They're doing things that people don't like again. They are cutting 10% of their motion picture group amidst the Discovery separation. A bigger piece to note about this is that they have officially, we talked about what will go with each. CNN, TNT is going with Discovery, and Warner Brothers essentially gets DC and the movie motion picture group that is now getting cut. But another point to talk about is they now know what they're going to be called, and it's exactly what you'd imagine. It's Warner Brothers and Discovery, and that's it. So we'll go ahead and move off of that, but they didn't give it names, and then they did, and it was what people were calling it anyway. The next note, Marvel's X-Men finds its director, and Jake Schreier eyes a young cast to save money, and those are in air quotes. A new Big Time Rush movie is in the works, but isn't promised, as Nickelodeon still has to give their blessings. John Krasinski, announces the production of A Quiet Place Part 3 with a social media post, will return to write, direct, and produce. Daisy Ridley starring The New Jedi Order is rumored to begin filming in 2026. That's according to industry insider Daniel RPK, who's very active online. This will be set 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker. And still according to Daniel RPK, Spider-Man Brand New Day, going back to a topic earlier discussed.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I just added this.
No, it's okay. Will reportedly be much darker than Holland's previous trilogy. It will be somewhat similar to The Amazing Spider-Man 2 or the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline from the comics. That's 3 different comics that have been rumored to be connected to this.
Yeah. So it being darker's like even crazy. Well, I mean, you have Punisher, right? But I don't know. I look forward to that. Sorry.
No.
I chose the one that I wanted to talk about already. But Brian, what do you think is the most interesting of these 6, 7?
I mean, I think that it's been a Spider-Man type of day. So yeah, that I like the idea. If you go street level, I guess you have to kind of do what you can for them to jive with the other characters at the street level. So Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, and that sort of thing. So I'm here for it. I'm not the same type of comic book fan, like movie adaptation fan that I was 5 years ago, where I was like, yeah, I like the darker ones. I still do. But like,
bro, watch Superman.
Hindsight. No, but that's what I was going to say. Like, hindsight is that like Superman shows that is something that works. Like, you don't have to have the alcoholic Tony Stark. You don't have to have you don't have to just have that. You don't have to just have the down, depressing, broken back Christian Bale in with Batman, right? You don't need that. And so now it's like, I'm interested to see where this goes, because a lot of Spider-Man stories, as we joked earlier about, he has a rule about never being happy. He doesn't get the happy ending. This fits with that. But yeah, I can jive with this. I could see that as something that would be interesting. And it's a different take because, again, as the rumor goes and as it describes, the previous trilogy was a lot lighter. It was a lot more of a happy tone. And now he doesn't have that. I don't know how much I like A Quiet Place Part 3. I don't know how much more you can kind of milk that franchise for. Krasinski, he's a great creator, but I just don't know after the first 2 and the spinoff that there will be, I think it was called Day One. I just don't know how much more story you have there. I don't know. A lot of interesting tidbits. A young cast for Marvel. I think that's probably in response to how things have gone for them in the box office the last 5 years, trying to save money. Other than that.
Yeah. You're not super excited for the Big Time Rush movie?
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right.
I mean, like, it's cool. It's nostalgia, but like,
they had a movie.
They did.
There was
the
already
Big
a
Time movie where they were in London.
Sorry, we're both.
No, it's okay. Emily,
chat.
Emily was discussing how she is not a Quiet Place fan. If she wants to add more,
she is a Quiet Place fan.
She is. I thought she said she wasn't. Hater.
She's an avid hater. Sorry.
Yeah.
So negative.
It's A Quiet Place is hit or miss. It is for like, I think the first one was really unique and interesting. It's okay. The first is interesting. The second, I feel like you kind of lost your way, but there was some story there. The spinoff was like, bleh.
I watched the first one projected in the grassy area at the college we all attended to be super anonymous, but like in that, that hill with all the grass.
Yeah. That one
projected down there. It was really good. Just like the whole vibe and watching that movie, I was like, oh yeah. But that was the first one, right?
Yeah.
I have not seen the second one, nor have I seen Day One. But I think I share the same, like, I think it did flop. I didn't hear a whole lot about either after they came out.
You had Joseph, I think it was Joseph Quinn running with a cat And that was like the meme for a long time was like, can your cat be as quiet as the day one cat? And like that was like the fad where people
No.
no, the answer is no.
Yeah.
But
I do remember that now that you mentioned that it was a thing where if your cat could be as quiet, because I just remember some screaming cats,
yeah,
dude.
there was one that was really funny where this lady like ran with her cat, and the cat every time she'd walk, so the cat just started meowing. He was going meow, 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 like as she was going. So it's
Dead.
yeah, gone. But yeah, I have no interest in. I shouldn't say no interest. I would be interested to see where they take the story because it just feels like it's over. If it's about the same family, which it probably will be, I just don't know. But I'm kind of like not burnt out. A Quiet Place Again is really interesting, but it's like, yeah.
Seen it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
if barring any other thoughts, Jake, I think that's all we have for today's episode.
Repping the squad. Repping the squad.
Lame.
Huh? We the winners. We the goats.
Yeah.
Steph Curry and this.
Okay.
We're the goats. Best shooters out there. Ryan said it.
10,000 to Gryffindor for chewing properly at the dinner table. That's all I hear.
Yeah, because Hufflepuff couldn't.
Hmm.
And they chew a lot.
We had Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
For like
Something that my
for
dad
like
actually
30
mentioned.
minutes.
To go on a tangent, something my dad always says when mom's rewatching them is that Hufflepuffs are generally of larger stature, and that he just fat shames the whole movie. I'm can't out here canceling my father, but that is something that he's pointed out. Is like, oh yeah, she's gonna go to Hufflepuff, not because he's seen the movie already, which he has. It's like she's in Hufflepuff because
Robert Pattinson was a Hufflepuff. So was the dude Eddie Redmayne's character in Fantastic Beasts. He's a Hufflepuff.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
He's real
Just the
lanky.
goobers. Just all the goobers are.
I mean, anyway, that's the end of our show. No shaming the Hufflepuffs.
No.
We're moving on, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.